Hey, horror fans! Once again, it is me, the Horror Miser Monty G. It's time to review the latest horror movie. I believe it's airing on Shutter right now. It's There's Something Wrong with the Children. Yes.
Don't fuck with them hoes.
No, there is something wrong with the children is a 2023 American horror film. It was directed by Roxanne Benjamin. It was written by T.J. Kinfield and David White. Now, the film stars Alicia Wainwright, Zach Gilford, Amanda Crew, Carlos Santos, Barilla Grazilla, I think I messed that up, and David Mantle. Now, in this movie, a family takes a weekend trip with longtime friends and their two young children, but they suspect something supernatural is wrong when the kids behave strangely after disappearing into the woods overnight. Oh boy, here we go again. Perhaps one of the most underrated subgenre in horror films are the ones that involve body snatching horror films. Oh, yes. I mean, you guys know the one where the person who looks and sounds the same, but there's something different about them. They are acting weird. Something's wrong with how they're acting. They're not expressing any type of emotion. Yeah, they look like that person you've been friends with for a while, but there's something off about them. Now, we've seen that from the classic 1956 sci-fi horror film Invasion of the Body Snatchers and a 78 remake of the same name. I mean, who can't remember that classic ending when Donald Sullivan just points at the actors and goes, "Whoa." Yeah, that's such a great ending. And there have been others as well. I mean, such as the 1993 film The Body Snatchers, the 2007 film The Invasion, and for a change of pace, John Carpenter's The Thing, and the 1998 film The Faculty. All those films represent something similar to the premise about body snatching. I mean, just imagine seeing your wife, child, or your loved ones who may look and sound the same, but deep down there's something wrong or different about them. Yes? I mean, that's what makes body snatching horror films so creepy and scary because as the movie progresses, the more you can't trust anyone you might run to you because that might not be that same person anymore. I mean, we've seen that time and again in all of these type of body snatching horror films. And that's what we have here with horror film directors Roxanne Benjamin's latest outing called There's something wrong with the children. Now, we've had married couple Ben and Margaret, or she's called Margot in this film, who are enjoying a nice weekend trip with their longtime friends Thomas and Ellie and their young children Lucy and Spencer. Now, after watching the children all right so that Thomas and Ellie can have some alone adult time, Margaret and Ben freak out as the kids are gone the next day. Oh no, where did they go? Now, Ben eventually finds her children at the same hidden bottomless pit that they found the early day, and you'll see this in the film, and I'm not spoiling anything because we see this in the trailer too. Two is harder. They fall into the bottomless pit. No! Now, as Ben is walking back to tell Margot the horrible news, she tells him that the children are finding well and nothing's happened at all. What? What the hell's going on? Well, of course, it doesn't take long before Ben notices changes in the kids' behavior and believes that there's something wrong with these kids. They're not acting normal. Well, I can say that the film looks very good as Roxanne has done a pretty good job making this film look like it's a big budget horror film. I mean, she takes advantage of the setting, and she and her cinematographer, Levy, makes the place look so beautiful and peaceful, and setting the audience up for the terrible events that are bound to happen later on. So you really got to give her credit about that because the film does look pretty good. Now, while the film may look great, it doesn't have the right amount of tension or suspense that you need for a film like this. I mean, even back in the 1956 horror film Invasion of Body Snatchers, you can see the tension and suspense in that film, especially at the ending when the guy realizes that everyone's being replaced and everyone's being replaced in the world, and we don't get that here. Now, the one problem is could be that after Lucy and Spencer have returned, they really don't become a threat. I mean, yeah, they do some weird and crazy things, but we really don't consider them a threat. It seems that writers T.J. Sinfield and David White, they couldn't make the children be more dangerous enough that they become the threat we've seen in other movies of this type that have this type of premise. I mean, we've seen that whether it's the Body Snatchers, the Faculty. I mean, even 2007's The Invasion actually had this type of setting where the threat is real. We don't get that here. Now, we do get some nice scenes with Ben as the children play tricks on him, but it doesn't have the effect that I believe the filmmakers wanted it to have. Because I think when we learn more about Ben and his past, we really don't get that much to it, but the film does explore Ben and his past. But it's not enough to make this film become the threat that we see in this type of a genre where we have the body snatching subgenre. It doesn't have that here. Yeah, we get some nice playing between the kids, Lucy and Spencer do with Ben, but it's only with Ben, and it should have been for all the adults. Now, as far as the acting goes, it's okay as Alicia Rainwright, Zach Gilford, Amanda Crew, and Carlos Santos. They're fine as the adults. I mean, they do what they have to do. Nothing extraordinary. I think Zach Gilford, who plays Ben, I think he has the most to do here. And while he tries his best to do something with the material, unfortunately, material doesn't allow him to do anything more than what he's capable of doing here. I mean, we do believe that they've been very good friends for a while, and the film does take its time in developing these characters. I mean, we get some nice interaction between Margot and Ellie as they discuss their relationship, and Ellie reveals a wild secret with Margaret. And I thought that was an interesting play. But unfortunately, when we get to the second act, when the children have returned, it doesn't really play well in the relationship that we have with the adults here. Yeah, there's a thing that happens between the adults, but it's not the direction I don't think I would have went with. I mean, the child actors, Barella Grazira and David Mantle, they're okay as Lucy and Spencer, but the filmmakers don't make them creepy or scary enough to make the audience fear them. I mean, it's like if you're going to play this plot, like we've seen before in other films, like I would say in the British horror film, The Children, they really become a threat to the adults, and these kids don't here. I mean, even when it's revealed what has happened to the children, I mean, it's not shocking enough that would make the audience believe that the adults are any type of danger. I mean, you get to see what's happened to them, and I won't relay it here. But when he does, it's like, wow, that's it. That's all we're going to see. Wow. It could be for budget reasons. I don't know. But if you're limited in your budget about what you can do, you should still make the film, you still make these characters or the children danger enough so that way do become a threat. Now, this isn't as bad as the 2007 film The Invasion that starred Nicole Kidman, but at least in that film, it still put her and her son in danger. And I said it before, we just don't get that in this film. I mean, to me, it seems like Roxanne and the filmmakers just didn't want to push the envelope. So what we have here is just I guess you could say, a below average body horror snatching film. I mean, we've seen worse films in this type before, but I've seen way better films. I mean, like I said before, as people might have criticized 2007's The Invasion film, but I believe that film is way better than this one. So I'm going to give There's Something Wrong with the Children only 2 out of my 5 bloody gold coins. Yes, it looks fine. It's well produced. You got to give them credit for the cinematography. I thought the setting was nice, but unfortunately, despite the performances, I just thought the rest of the film was just meh, and the children simply were just not the threat that they were supposed to be. So there you have it. That is my review and video for There Is Something Wrong with the Children. I hope you guys did enjoy it. And if you did, please give me a thumbs up, like, and share. Because it does help out with that YouTube algorithm. If you have seen There Is Something Wrong with the Children, what do you thought about it? Please leave your comments in the comment section below and tell me what you thought about the film. Also, if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. That way you'll be notified anytime when I put up new videos such as this one. Once again, my name is Lamont Smith, better known as the Horror Miser Monty G, and always remember that horror rules. And I see you in my next video. I'll see you guys later.